afternoon. My name is Mike Colombini. Today, we're going to talk about voting. Voting in an election does much more than helping elect key candidates. It directs society in determining what change is needed. So often are we impassioned by the drive to instill change in our society, yet we do not know what steps it takes to make that happen. Today, I will be explaining to you the simplest way to instill change in society, the easiest mechanism of all in our constitutional republic, to vote. It is crucial to not slip into the mob mentality and let that drive our ambitions. Go out and vote. We will look at 3 points in this discussion that will assist you in making that crucial step towards voting. Thwarting the mob mentality through decisive voting, being active in your community, and using your vote to make a difference. Our first point, thwarting the mob mentality through decisive voting, both the foreign mob mentality and the local mob mentality. Election day, 2010, Afghanistan. I was 19 years old. The town of Yayakel was supposed to vote for local officials, as well as the governor of their province and the president of the country. The town of Yayakel did not vote that day. The night before, the Taliban dropped leaflets throughout the town, saying that if you went out to vote, your hands would be cut off. I remember that day very well. We were pulling security down the main street, and when there's normally people bustling and going in and out and selling things, there wasn't a single person in sight. The town of Yayakel did not vote that day. Mob mentality ruled that day in that far-off country where people were too scared to vote. The American mob mentality. It is easier to get into a mob and collectively disagree in anger about an issue than actually finding a logical way towards the conclusion. When a judge puts forth rulings that anger the people, what good is going outside of that courthouse when the judge is long since home to show your anger? Why not vote the judge out? The judge isn't going to change their ruling just because a bunch of angry people are upset. He's at home drinking whiskey. Why not just vote the judge out? So often do I find myself wondering who the judges on my ballot even are, what they stand for. Most people just keep checking, yep, yes, 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 yes. They don't take the time to research. Do research. Take notes. Convince your friends. Talk about it in the workplace, just not where anybody in charge can hear you. Bring notes to the voting booth. Create change by voting. Why not vote the judge out? Second point. Being active in your community. I live in Ferguson, Missouri. I vote in local elections. I am instrumental in creating change. Only 2 people ran for mayor in the last spring election. 2 people. The incumbent mayor, Knowles, who was mayor during the unrest of 2014, and one of the ward's aldermen, Ella Jones. Ella Jones lost because Ella Jones doesn't understand local politics. The mob mentality wants to create change through loud noises, but often can't put a candidate on the ballot that will win. How long does it take to forget the big events like those in Ferguson 3 years ago? How long does it take to forget something as monumental as that? It's too quick, too quickly. They've already forgotten. Lacey Clay Jr. is my congressman for the 1st Congressional District of Missouri. He has been a congressman since 2001. His father, Clay Sr., was a founding member of the Congressional Black Caucus and a congressman in the 1st District from '69 to 2001. The Clays have been in control of North City and North County for 49 years. The city is a disaster. Crime and murder levels are high. Foreclosures and vacant properties are rampant. What have they done to improve our community? Use the power of voting to make a difference. You don't like them, vote them out. If you cast your vote to be a part of your community, you can create change. You can raise and lower taxes. You can vote on the board of your public schools. You can decide to give money to big public agendas like a soccer team. You can vote for infrastructure. Vote and create change in your community. Our third point, using your vote to make a difference. I don't know if you remember the Gore-Bush election of 2000, but that was back and forth, and it came out of Florida at the end of it. Next slide. 38.6% of the voting public did not vote in the 2016 general election. These 2 maps show who did vote by county. The populations of the counties are obviously differ based off of where the main cities are. So on the left map, you see a lot of red throughout the country because those are farming counties and they're bigger counties, but they're not big by population. On the right-hand side, you can see the population's distorted based off of the amount of people. So in California, the blue is a lot bigger on the right because there's a lot more people in California. Even though in the counties throughout the Midwest and the Plains are all smaller population-wise. This shows the people that did vote by county in 2016. Next slide. Local numbers for the mayoral election of 2017 in Ferguson. 21.58% of people voted in the local election. 5,000 of the 25,000 registered voters in a city that created the biggest racial riots and conversation about race relations since the 1992 Rodney King riots in LA, and only 5,000 people voted for the two possible people for mayor. This easily ties back to our first point about the mob mentality. People are angry about something, but instead of actually putting their vote on the ballot, they just talk, and they get mad, and they riot, and they're a mob. And it's not logical, and it's not conducive to good behavior as a citizen. I'm here to persuade those people, the other 20,000 people, to vote. Your voice can make a difference by instilling the need to vote among your friends, your peers, your co-workers, your mom, your dad, your grandmother. Some people even have their dogs vote. I don't recommend that. Your vote can make a difference by putting new people in office. Throwing the old ones out and putting your stamp of the American experience on the ballot. Too often, before, during, or after elections, do we complain about the people that hold high office. We think that lobbyists and super PACs control election results. But in fact, you control the election results. It comes down to the hard numbers and not the cash in hand when it's all said and done. Show up and vote. Lastly, just think how much more of a chance other political parties could have if another 40% of people voted. In the UK, there's 3 political parties. We have 2. There's a lot of other smaller ones, but they never have a shot. Why not give them a shot? Go out and vote. The numbers of people that vote in local elections or midterms are absolutely dismal compared to general elections. So dismal it's depressing, especially considering local elections, they impact you much more. Just like America's recent distrust of the media, so too do many mistrust the election system. Don't let phony statistics faze you. You can truly have a say without your life being threatened, like in Afghanistan. You can have a say to elect leaders to term limits. You can have a voice in a free country that so many people can't have all over the world. Go out and vote and get a free sticker. Thank you. Have a good day.